Hey there everyone, what's up? I'm MISSINGNOXPERT. Welcome back to Fire Red Xpertlocke. It has been a while since I've made one of these, and you know what? I don't really remember what I was doing. I think I was like halfway up through Silphco, and now it's just time to keep clearing the rockets out of this place. Force them to go home against their will. They don't belong here. Can Bessie handle this? I'm gonna hope so. I guess we'll find out together. That didn't work at all. Okay, fantastic. Oh, that's gonna hurt a lot. Oh my god, that attract is huge. At any rate, what was I saying? Yeah, so Nuzlocke. Jesus, it's been a while since I've gotten into a Nuzlocke mode. Like, I haven't done anything of the sort in a while. Please don't hit me. Look how attractive I am. You can't hurt me. That would be against some unwritten Pokemon code, I suppose. No, you can't. You can't do anything. You are much too... dang it. Preserve everything. Okay. I need to get back into this. Like, everything is important, and I cannot afford to lose anything. Haven't lost anyone yet. That will likely start to change. I hate to say it, but it very well might. I hope it's a while before it does, but the thing about Fire Red and Leaf Green is that they're not easy Pokemon games. In terms of like difficulty level, they're probably towards the top. Especially, like, the reason that I've had so much success so far, part of it is because I haven't had a full team, and that's a big deal. There's a weird anomaly in Pokemon for where the more party members you have, the more difficult it is. I'm not kidding, like, this is a real thing. Pokemon just gets more difficult the more Pokemon you have. It's very easy to sweep through an entire game with only your starter. Like, literally no problems. You will run into no problems. It's incredibly easy, but once you have an entire party, then you start running into the problem of dealing with being under-leveled. And this wouldn't necessarily be a problem in a regular run, because your under-leveled Pokemon gets knocked out and you send in another one, whatever. It's a problem in a Nuzlocke, yeah. So, that's why there may be some issues on the road ahead, but hopefully it will be a while until I run into those, and I haven't run into any of them yet. So I can thank my lucky stars for that, I suppose. Oh man, it's been a while since I've done one of these. One announcement that I wanted to make is that this week will likely feature a 2-episode special. For those of you who are fans of Let's Glitch Pokemon Blue, there will probably be another episode of that airing on Tuesday, which is 2 episodes this week. Is this the wrong floor? This is the wrong floor. It's supposed to be on the lower floor. I'll get back to that. I haven't finished clearing the 5th. But yeah, there should be a 2nd episode, and most of that is just because I had extra time this week. Like, I had more than usual. So, that's a huge part of it. This is actually a really bad matchup. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Noob mistake there. I put Clefable in a lot of danger. Jeez. I'm kind of all over the place today. Wow. Okay. Come on. Get it together. So things that I need to do include... I'm definitely not staying in for that. Things that I need to do today include sweeping as much of Silphco as I possibly can. I need to get done with this frickin' place. I don't like Silphco. I don't think anybody does. But, at any rate, I need to sweep through as much of it as I can, gather up all of the experience that it offers, and all of the money, also. And... like, you can cut straight to the end of Silphco, but I need that experience so bad that I'm not going to. Come on, get down the stairs. Scientists tend to have, like, Magnemites and stuff, and this guy's probably no exception. So I'm gonna switch in Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee hasn't seen... oh yeah, and speaking of Hitmonlee, that's right, we gotta rename him. I have a name selected. I opened it up to comments last episode, and there is a name waiting for him. But I'm probably going to do that towards the end of the episode. Because Well, I'm already here right now, and I don't have fly. that's pretty much the only reason I have no access to fly. For those of you who aren't familiar with the rules that I'm using, it's effectively the same rules as a Nuzlocke, with the exception... So, I mean, the same rules as a Nuzlocke for those of you who aren't familiar with those. High jump kick. No, I can't afford to risk it. High jump kick is, like, way too damaging if you miss. But at any rate, the rules of a traditional Nuzlocke are you can only catch the first Pokemon that you encounter on a route, and if a Pokemon faints, you must release it. Right? Simple enough. Well, I've changed that first rule to I may only use Pokemon that are handed to me, like physically, as in I cannot catch Pokemon whatsoever. Which adds an extra degree of challenge, I would say. It means that I'm kind of forced into a wonky team all the time. There's a pretty good amount of variety in Fire Red and Leaf Green. In some other games, this challenge would probably be downright impossible. Well, no, that's not right. It's not that it would be downright impossible. In a lot of games, I suspect that the challenge would actually be a lot easier because you could just cheese the whole game with your starter. Again, like I already mentioned, having a full team of 6 makes the game more difficult. But, meh, whatever. I want it to be difficult, that's the whole point, right? Other games that you could do it in, I like briefly brainstormed this a while ago. I was thinking maybe it would be possible in the 4th generation. I believe you get an Eevee, I believe you get a Porygon. You obviously get your starter in every game. I think there might be a couple of other things. I don't remember. Fire and Leaf Green has like an unnaturally large amount of stuff that you're just handed, but there are other games that like Gold, Silver, and the remakes. You get like a Spearow if you know where to look. You get all the Game Corner Pokemon, your selection of them. You get other things. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't really remember. Okay. Coming up is going to be an advanced technique. For those of you who don't know, the key to this entire place is like behind this guy. That is an enormous Arbok. I don't really feel like dealing with that with Hitmonlee. I'm gonna get wrecked. So we're gonna go into Spoonman. Yeah, so there's the key is that like opens this whole place up is behind this guy, and I know that because I've played this game a couple times, or at least I've played the Gen 1 equivalents a number of times. That key is there. Get wrecked. Synchronize. That's amazing. Synchronize is so good. But yeah, I need that key. And the only way to get it that I know of is you have to just like warp and then immediately warp back. It seems like a really weird way to do things. I assume that the developers intended for you to do it this way, but maybe not. See, like, you just do this, and then you're here now, and you can go pick up the key. Like, the only other thing that I can think of that you might be able to do is if you go all the way back here, like, maybe you can aggro this guy and drag him up far enough to where you can slip underneath and grab the key from the other side. But anything that has to do with, like, dragging an enemy trainer far away from where he's supposed to be is, like, a really advanced technique, and advanced enough to the point to where I don't think the developers would intentionally have it be that way. In fact, I suppose it's possible that the whole warp back and forth thing is just a failsafe in case you accidentally don't drag the Team Rocket grunt where you're supposed to. I don't know, whatever, it works. That's the way that I did it. Did the job. It's good enough for me. You might be noticing that Spoonman is very over-leveled compared to my other Pokemon. Believe me that I'm noticing it too. It's not by intent. There are just a lot of Team Rocket grunts, and they all use poison types. Oh, that sucks. Really? Why'd you have to go and do that? Come on now. Most of the Team Rocket grunts use poison types, and that's a problem because Psychic is fantastic against poison, and it means that I'm like steamrolling through all these grunts with my Kadabra, and he's getting way too much experience. There's not a lot that I can do about that, really. Like, I can make creative use of my other Pokemon and just kind of use them to take out poison types too. And I'm gonna be trying to do that when I can, but, you know, that makes things a little bit needlessly difficult. Now that I think about it, it's possible that there's like more Team Rocket grunts in Generation 1 and its remakes than in any other Pokemon game. Like, more criminal gang members. Okay. Oh wait, that won't do very much of anything. Please. I'm flying type. Get out of here, Mr. Mime. No one likes your antics. Why is this doing so little damage now? I don't understand. Oh, did he put up a light screen? No, it was a reflect. Is it both? Did he put up... Yeah, he might have put up a light screen. That's the only thing that I can think of that would make that. That's probably it. We can review the footage later to find out definitively. Either way, I think that's it for this floor, so it's time to move on. If I have a way to cure paralysis, that'd be kinda cool. Because I really don't... You know what, I'm just gonna give these black glasses to Stashy here immediately. Power up that bite a little bit. I have them, I might as well. Paralyze heal. Wow, I have a lot of those. Okay, how convenient. Yeah, there's gonna be... Held items are gonna be tricky in the future. They're gonna be problematic. Because there's, like, not that many in this game, I don't think. I know that there's 2 leftovers, I know exactly where they are, and I can't get them in this run. Because... I'm gonna fight that scientist later, by the way. Because... they, require the item finder. Like, it's not the type of thing to where, you know, you need the item finder because you don't know where they are. I know exactly where they are. But, like, those leftovers don't exist unless you have the item finder. Which is a problem. A pretty big problem. I can't get it because I can't catch enough Pokemon to get it under my rules. So, no leftovers, and that's gonna make things tricky. Especially in the held items department. So there's obviously always berries, right? The berries that I collect can get me held item, can potentially be held items, but they don't come back, and they're also situational. And I can't plant berries in any way that I'm aware of. I think it's just one and done. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. Besides the black glasses, I don't think there's that many other held items that I can make use of, really. There's a couple. There's like a quick claw, maybe. Because I haven't ever beaten Fire Red or Leaf Green all the way through. I have gone up and beaten the Elite Four, but I haven't done like all the islands and stuff. And from what I remember, those leftovers were like, I relied on those to give all of my Pokemon held items. So we'll see how that goes down, but I suppose we will find out. Yeah, I had a pretty relaxing week comparatively, compared to my other weeks, which is pretty nice. It means that I got a bunch of recording done. It means that I got a bunch of editing done for a little project as well. As for what that project is, I suppose you're gonna have to wait and see. I'm not gonna give any details about it yet. Confidentiality. But yeah, I suppose the main reason that I'm not giving any details is because I don't quite know how it's going to end up working myself. I'm still early in the development stage, just starting to put things together, and not to mention that it's gonna be a while. Editing takes a long time, you know. I don't think people give good editors enough credit. Like most big YouTube channels out there, like, it's not the same person doing the recording and the editing. It's generally like there's just an editor who's hired to do the editing, and that is their life. You know, they edit for money, and that's just what they do. And I commend them because it is like mind-numbingly long time that it takes to do good editing. It's difficult, man. It's tough. If you want to make your videos look professional. But if you're thinking about like starting a new YouTube channel, I don't want to like scare you out of it, because as it turns out, production quality is not all that important when you're just starting out. What's much more important is having a good idea, or perhaps I should say a unique idea, but it has to be a unique idea that people actually want to watch. That's the tricky part, right? You need to find something that people haven't really done before, but it has to also be something that people want to watch. And that's where the difficulty really comes in. But if you strike gold and you find something like that, like I was fortunate enough to find the Let's Glitch, right? It turns out people actually really wanted to watch that. And it turns out also that nobody at all was doing that. I was literally the first person. I don't know why I went downstairs. Did I go downstairs? Yeah, I did. For no reason. People really wanted to watch that. Nobody was making them. It's like not even a thing that people were aware they wanted to watch, but they just kind of did. And so I made some of them, and you know, story goes from there. My channel accelerated quite rapidly for a while. Especially like proportional to the amount of content that I make, my channel's growth has been pretty exceptional. I would say it's interesting. You don't need to make a ton of videos, like I mentioned in my update video. Why did I just do that? Oh my god, this could be so devastating. Please hit only twice, please. Oh my god. That was such an enormous mistake. Okay. Jeez, I was talking about like YouTube antics and... Yeah, okay, yeah, making a ton of videos shouldn't be a priority. Like, it's something that you can do. Really? Okay. You wanna know the secret to YouTube? You wanna know how it really works? The most successful channels tend to have... Well, the most successful channels don't matter, right? Because you can't look at them and try and emulate them most of the time. That won't really work. The reason for that is once you're already very, very established and you have an enormous following, you can just put out regular content and then that will do the trick. You know, that will keep your subscriber base coming back. And that's what's important because you're already really established. And, you know, you'll slowly grow because your channel's huge and people will, like, at that point, word of mouth becomes enough to actually, like, grow the channel. So you can't, if you just try and emulate huge channels, it's not necessarily going to work. The secret to YouTube, to actually growing a YouTube channel, is this, right? What you need is a unique idea that people want to watch, like I already mentioned, and then beyond that, you can make other kinds of regular content, right? Does that make sense? And the reason for this is, and this stuff that people want to watch, this unique idea that people want to watch, doesn't have to be a series at all, necessarily. It can be disjointed viral videos. As long as you have some other regular content to back that up, that will also work. The reason is, you need two types of videos on your YouTube channel if you're still in the process of growing, right? At least. And those two types have to be something that brings people in, is the first type, and something that keeps them there once they're in, right? The fundamental problem that I see, the fundamental mistake that I see people make all the time when they're first trying to get into like the, specifically the video game YouTubing world is, they just make Let's Plays. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's very unlikely to, I should say. It can. It's not likely. The issue with that is that you have the second type of video, you do not have the first. Let's Play is a very diluted market, or not... Diluted is not the word I'm looking for, is it? No. It's just, it's full, you know? There are so many of them. And people aren't just going to type Let's Play into the search bar at the top of YouTube and find your videos. That's not how it works. You know and I know if you use YouTube, you have Let's Players that you like, and you follow them, and, you know, maybe you branch out from there, but slowly. You don't just, like... I don't think anybody... Or, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I know that, at least personally, I follow the same Let's Player over a long course of time. You know, that's how that works. Like, I don't just check out random people's Let's Plays all the time. Instead, you, like, you know, you see somebody's videos, you figure out that, you know, okay, I like this content, I like this personality, whatever, I'm gonna keep following him, and then you move on into their Let's Plays. That's how it works, fundamentally. And so that means that if you're only making the Let's Plays, you have nowhere to draw from. The reason that Let's Players make Let's Plays at all is because it allows you to more directly interact with fans, you know, people who actually, like, they come in for your content, they like it, and they stick around. Those kinds of people. It lets you interact with them better, and, like, those are the kinds of people who will watch the Let's Plays, right? Or in my case, it's you guys. Whereas my main, like, subscriber-producing content used to be Let's Glitch, although the novelty of that has since died down. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop making them. It just means that it's going to turn into regular content instead, and I'm planning on making different things that will continue to bring in subscribers. That's why I keep mentioning new projects and stuff. And you'll see what kinds of things those will be, and those will be, again, you know, like, big, high-quality, high production value videos that I just make and whatever. But again, your subscriber-building videos don't necessarily have to be high production value, you know? Like, there's so many variables. Just go out and experiment with stuff, you know? Like, think of something that you haven't seen done a lot. If you're thinking about starting YouTube, think of something that you haven't seen done a lot. Try and do it, see if it works, right? If it doesn't work, try something else. Once you find something that sticks, then start producing regular content that people will, like, watch just directly from their subscriber feed. You have to make sure not to overflow the regular content, though, because if you do that, then people who subscribed for your big subscriber earning videos might get off-put by that. It's like a delicate balance. There's a lot of variables. It's complicated. Take my word for it. That's how it works. Once you get into huge channels like, oh, I don't know. For instance, let's take the J-Wits, right? That's a channel that probably a lot of people are familiar with. I like him. He seems like a great guy. His videos are pretty cool. The way that a huge channel works appears to be different in that it doesn't really matter that much what the J-Wits does. People are gonna watch it, you know? Like, I suppose the best example is PewDiePie, right? PewDiePie, yeah. Eventually, if you're talking about, like, YouTube fame, you're gonna have to talk about PewDiePie because, face it, he is the epitome of YouTube success. Like, it just doesn't get better. Personally, I don't watch the guy. I just don't like his content that much, but I don't have anything against anybody who does. But what you can see is that it really doesn't matter what he plays or what he does. He just gets a ton of views, regardless, you know? And his subscriber gain is similar, regardless. It really doesn't matter that much. So that's the perk of being huge, is that you get things like friends recommending your videos to other friends, and then at that point, you know, it's just, you've taken YouTube by force and you've just got it. Until then, though, while you're in the process of growing, and I'd say this process of growing lasts anywhere between like 0 to 500,000 subscribers, you know, somewhere around there, some arbitrary benchmark. So like all middle of the road and even like the even big channels, I'd say, are still like in that process of growing. Until you've hit those massive numbers, you're pretty much going to need something that draws in subscribers, and then you're going to need something that keeps subscribers, and keeps them watching, and keeps them entertained, and keeps you getting views. And those are, man, I don't even, how much time do I have? That was a good old lecture on like how YouTube works. I hope you guys can make use of that. Good lord, I don't know why I'm talking about that right now, but I am. Yeah, I hope it's useful for you guys who are thinking about starting YouTube channels. I encourage you to do it. It is a lot of fun, I assure you. Find something that you like doing. It doesn't have to be Pokemon. It can be whatever you like, and just, you know, stick with it, man. It's one of the most rewarding things, I'd say, that I've ever gotten into, if not the most rewarding, in just so many different ways, you know, like interaction, like, you know, if you're completely objective, you can be like, oh, you get money out of it, and that's rewarding, and that's true, you do get some money out of it, and that is rewarding, but you look at it and you see, like, community interaction, like, you build a community around your channel. That is so sick, that is so cool, it's fantastic. I completely encourage you to get into this stuff if you are even on the fence about it. And it's tough for like a new channel to make it in this big wide world. It's getting tougher by the day. But you know, every channel, everybody I believe has the capacity to make it big as long as they find something that just works. Gonna have to keep using Spoon Man here. So many poison types, so many rockets, so little time. How very frustrating. I can't wait until I'm done with Silphco, you guys. Like, seriously. I'm so excited to be done with Silphco. Oh god, I'm so done with this freaking place. Oh my gosh. Okay. Golbat, come on, keep it going. There's like, I'm on what, like floor 8? I think there's like 11 floors, but even once I'm done, in case you guys haven't noticed, I've been sweeping the main part of each floor, and then I'm gonna go back and unlock all the doors. Some of the doors have additional trainer battles, but not all of them do, so opening the doors should take significantly less time. I still have to name that Hitmonlee, and I'm starting to run low on time, but I have a couple more minutes before I'm gonna go do that. Oh. pretty nicely balanced team of 6 right now. The one type that I could really stand to use is fire, I believe, but I've got ice in there. Ice makes up for fire in a lot, for like the lack of fire in a number of ways. Not even in a number, it's just for grass and bug, really. Was that like an 8th floor? We're getting close to the top. But yeah, that's just about gonna do it for this episode of Fire Red Expert. I rambled about a bunch of stuff. I made a point and then I was about to make a point and I forgot what it was. Stuff happened. It was a good little talk that we had, you know, heart to heart. I hope you guys can make some use of those YouTube tips. Like, that's the way that I see it. That's the way that I think about YouTube, and for the most part, it seems to be working because I have like a fan base that continues to support me even when I just disappear, which again is just blows my mind. I accidentally challenged this guy. Let's fight him before I close out. Yeah, that is fantastic. Like, you guys were so awesome during that period of inactivity. I can't even describe. I'm not gonna let that happen again. That was just really bad on my part. Let's see, Blitz can handle this. But yeah, the amount of support that I got was so cool. And yeah, I feel like I'm really lucky to have a fan base like that. I guess it just means that I've been doing this right so far. But yeah, big projects are on the horizon. How far on the horizon? I don't know exactly. I'd like to give you more details, but I simply don't have them yet. But beyond that, new episode of Let's Glitch Pokemon Blue will likely be arriving on Tuesday, almost certainly. I haven't recorded it yet, and there's a small chance that I won't be able to, in which case I'll look really dumb for making a promise that I couldn't keep. But, like, I have this afternoon to record. Like, I don't see how it's possible that I couldn't. Whatever, we'll figure it out, okay? You'll see on Tuesday whether or not it's coming out, right? Back off. And then from then on, you know, we go as it goes. That's how we do it on my channel. We're chill. Nothing happens. We just kind of go with the flow, you know. At any rate, I think that's about gonna do it for this episode of Fire Red Xpertlocke. Once I clean up this Team Rocket guy, these black glasses don't seem to be making much of a difference. But it's a held item, so whatever. I think Gyarados is the only one with a dark type move right now. And yeah, I think I talked about just about everything that I wanted to talk about, really. Yeah, I talked about a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to talk about, frankly, or like that I didn't, you know, come into the video like I really want to talk about. I talked about stuff like that, to where it was unplanned, spontaneous, in the moment, you know, exactly like everybody likes. So I think I'm done for now. Yeah, it's been good. I'll be seeing you guys next time.